Welcome to the Feminine Thriving Podcast, brought to you by the Jade Temple, the sisterhood devoted to the wisdom and pleasure of the female body.
We are your hosts, Tamara Klemick and Hilary Kimball, and we are excited to journey with you as we share all about how to move from surviving to thriving in a female body. Thriving for us means you feel a sense of safety in your own body, that you are dripping with sensuality and aliveness, that you're experiencing pleasure and orgasms that connect you to your own divinity, and you feel confident, powerful, and abundant walking this planet with a badass community of sisters by your side. Oh, and we welcome the mess, the mud, the chaos, and embrace all that it is to be a woman.
There will be solo episodes, episodes with both of us, and episodes with other smart, wise, funny, and sexy women, and maybe even men, to share their embodied wisdom with us. We acknowledge our sharing on this podcast comes from the experiences and viewpoints of us, two white, middle-class, cisgendered women. If we ever say anything that causes harm to you or your experience on the planet, please share with us so that we can continue to grow, learn, and bring new perspectives also to this space.
So, without further ado, let's drop into today's juicy episode. Hi, loves, and welcome back to the Feminine Thriving Podcast. Today it's a solo episode with me, Tam. And I want to talk about the power of community and living life in community. It's definitely something that I've explored a lot in the last few years, particularly the last 5-6 years. And certainly is something that I see time and time again in what we offer and create together at the Jade Temple. And I've experienced community in different situations, different types of community, and every time I'm in these situations that feel closer to living in community, and when I say community, I mean regular interactions with people over time. And not just interactions, but intimacy, deep intimacy, holding each other through emotional stuff, and even ideally living in community and actually being with each other through the tasks of life. And I've tasted different elements of being in community, some that worked better than others, yet still every single experience that I've had, I have really seen the benefits, deep benefits of us living in this way. And of course it goes back to being tribal animals, creatures that lived for very, 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 very long time in tribe. And our nervous systems being wired to have this tribal aspect and this network of beings, of humans, of nervous systems to support us in different ways with different needs at different times. And so many of us are living, even myself sometimes, living in a place where there is a lot of community. There is also a lot of individualization and living individually. And I really believe in my heart, the more community we have in our life, the more we can feel safe and thrive. And for some that might be having some kind of space like what we're creating with the Jade Temple, particularly the membership, and creating a long-term space where we come together over time and start to peel back layers of ourselves and hold each other through that and witness that and support each other through that. That's almost in some ways to me on the light end of community. Deep, deep, deep and important, but then it can extend, and maybe it's not for everyone, or maybe it's not possible for everyone, but it can extend into truly living in community. And by that I mean sharing tasks of the day-to-day of growing or sourcing food, of cooking and eating together, of taking on different tasks for the maintenance of life. And everything in between. It can be many different forms of what community looks like and how we can gain access to community. Yet I really, truly believe that, the more we can create community in our lives, the more we have this network of support, and therefore we can really thrive. We can even feel more brave. We can take more risks. We can have more space. There's more space for rest. There's more division of what needs to get done. And I've had a few different experiences. Nothing as long as I would like, but a few different spaces where I've had the blessing, I would say, to live in community, and the absolute gift and blessing of being part of the Jade Temple community. So where do I want to start? I'm going to start with a deep breath. Feel free to take one with me. So I think I'll share a little bit about some of my personal experiences of living in this community environment. I mean, actually, even in a sort of short-term space, some of the teacher trainings that I've done, residential teacher trainings, have been pretty powerful and beautiful in that aspect, being with the same people every day, learning, growing, practicing, meditating, connecting. But I would say one of my first in adulthood experiences of living in community was in a off-grid. It was like a hostel, off-grid hostel that was in the forests in the national park in Estonia. And I was teaching yoga there. It was my first proper gig teaching yoga. And I was also doing other things throughout the day, maybe doing some reception work or checking people in or cooking a meal, being support in the kitchen. It kind of shifted and evolved. And this was a scenario where the people that were living together in community were also working together for a business. And certainly it came with challenges, for sure, but the beauty of living with people, we were also blessed to be living in one of the most spectacular places on the planet, living in tents. We were in these big kind of glamping tents. Well, the customers were in glamping tents. We were in the tent, but we were sharing like 4 beds on the floor, and had little chickens walking past our net windows in the morning. And we were outside all day because it was a camping type environment with handmade sauna and baths outside in the forest under the stars, and a hot tub under the stars, and burning fire at night, and growing food. And then when we had time off, we would jump on bicycles and ride to the closest lakes and go swimming naked in the lakes, in these beautiful lakes. And I had my ukulele, and life was pretty sweet. And I made some beautiful friendships in that time. And yeah, when you work and live together like that, the bonds that are formed are so deep and so maybe even immediate, because you work together, you play together, you eat together, you maybe even sleep together. But yeah, this really just like being also so connected to nature in this way, and the elements. And yeah, really for me was one of the first moments of really experiencing the magic of this. And of course, with that comes personality clashes, and particularly when you're actually working and there's stress that can come in on top of that. But it really, really expanded my view of this idea of living in community and how fun it can be. Yeah, I really loved this chapter. And yeah, I think then at some point I was living in a unplanned, unexpected community in Bali. This was, yes, after experiencing a very, very deep and powerful workshop in Bali. It was during the time of the very beginnings of COVID, or at least the beginnings of when it was becoming a global problem. And I went to this training, or this initiation, for a week. And the day before I was due to fly back to Thailand, the borders shut, or the borders, you needed a COVID test to get back in. And back then we didn't even know how to get a COVID test. So the owner of the resort offered for any of us that had just been through this retreat, this workshop, to stay, and for a very decent amount of money that would just cover food and some of the staff costs. So 12 of us decided to stay in this beautiful resort in northern Bali, where we had sunset and sunrise and sunset every day from the same spot. And we had 3 Balinese different gardens with pools, and like it was just so beautiful. And we were a bunch of yoga teachers and breathwork facilitators and ecstatic dance DJs and musicians, and we decided to continue the deep work of this retreat that we'd just been in. So we were having 3 circles a week in the mornings. We were doing lots of deep emotional work. We were bringing issues between the group to the group. We were holding each other in our processes, our pain, our celebrations. We were in ritual together. We were in ceremony together. And yeah, this time of living in community really showed me the power of doing the work together and holding each other through this emotional work of being a human, which can be really hard sometimes, and there's always stuff that's coming up, and we're never done with the work, we're never through it. And the power of also bringing challenges that are happening in relationship to each other to the tribe, and allowing the tribe to hold that. And yeah, this is another one of my all of these are some of my most favorite moments of my life, actually, and that's why it's so powerful to me, because if I look back in different chapters, I can see really how much I love living in community. And I'll say it again and again, it comes with challenges, for sure. Yet I really feel this is such an important aspect of humanity, of being humans, that is often lost. You know, I think that this is why things like AA are so successful in helping people. And I don't want to dismiss any form that supports people. There are things around AA that I don't necessarily agree with, but the community aspect and bringing people together to support each other on their healing journey, I think that's a big part of their medicine. So, yeah, Bali was an incredible chapter. And yeah, I then had another experience in Greece. I wasn't so much intrinsically living in this community. I was there as a guest for some time and then doing another retreat, a music-based 3-week retreat. So I had over a month in this, living with these beautiful, beautiful humans. And at the center of this community was a permaculture farm. It was growing their own food and then taking turns in the kitchen to cook that food for the tribe. And this experience really touched me so deeply. I really connected to the simplicity of the land being the centerpiece of this community. There was no kind of big egotistical idea of what they were trying to create beyond learning about and tending to nature, and therefore the food and nourishment of the tribe. And what I witnessed there was a huge amount of ego dropping away through nature, caring for nature being at the center of this community. Because when you're sort of debating how to keep the tomatoes alive, or what the pigs need, or which flower or which plant needs to get which sunshine or which water and where they'll go next to each other best, it's like it's not conversations about ego. It's just debates around what's the best way to take care of nature and therefore also your food source. And I can tell you it's the best food I think I've ever eaten, food that's grown with love and cooked with love and shared each meal. Yeah, it was such a magical, magical time, and definitely somewhere that I want to return one day. Shout out to Regreen in Greece. I love you guys so much. And yeah, and then I guess most recently is having the privilege and honor of being part of the Jade Temple community and seeing the beauty of sisterhood. And the beauty of sisterhood over time, there is such a power in this container of the sisterhood of the Jade Temple over time, being a holding field, and some who are coming every single week and being really a regular part of holding that heartbeat, some that drop in and out, some that are no longer on the island but are in the Jade Temple Sisterhood Facebook group and still feel so much a part of this sisterhood, sharing about our experiences, opening our hearts up, celebrating, really allowing us to see that we're not alone in this path of being a woman, of being a human, of being sometimes a bit miserable or lonely or heartbroken or whatever, or celebrating our wins and seeing each other in our power and shining our lights for each other. And yeah, it's really so beautiful to see. And actually it's one of my favorite things about the Yoni initiation 4-day retreat, is the sisterhood and the depth of sisterhood that's created in those 4 days, and that can continue afterwards. We have one from last year, or actually this year. We have a WhatsApp group for each Yoni initiation group of sisters, and there's one from earlier this year, and then there's some of them are meeting up in Spain in the summer, and it's just so beautiful to see the continuation of this that's created when we drop the masks, when we show ourselves to each other, when we genuinely create a space where we're not judging each other for all of these things that we have done or that we are doing, and just hold each other in that. And yeah, of course, that's one of my greatest wishes for all women, to feel like they have this space. There's so much to work through, there's so much muck, there's so much shadow that we're not even aware of. Traumas and things that have happened to us in the past that we still carry the blame, we blame ourselves for them. And yeah, with this membership, with the sisterhood, with what we're creating, this is really a space where we hope that women come in and stay in the community that we create, so that we can hold each other through the ups and downs, the ins, the outs, and all arounds of life. And particularly and specifically as well around our relationship to our bodies, to our pleasure, to our sexuality, to our emotions, to our somatic experience, to our shadows and the things that we can see, our patterns, all of the behaviors that come from our past defense mechanisms, and hold each other through that over time. Not just a drop in every now and again, and not just, a 4-week course, but over time. And I'm so excited to see where this goes, because I've heard from Hill even, she did Year of the Yoni last year, a year-long program, and she was sharing all of the beauty of that, being in this container together for a year. And that's why we have a monthly option that you can come and get a taste and join for a month, and hopefully for a few months, and give it some time to see how this space can work for you. And then we have this annual option, which is really a commitment to say, yes, I want to walk this path in community, and I want to reclaim my pleasure. The pleasure path is the year-long option, where we're adding pleasure practices and pussy pods on top. But just to have this experience of living in this true community spirit, of being with each other on this path, on this journey of life, of reclamation, of coming back to our power as women, which I'm so excited about this revolution that's happening right now. I feel it in so many areas, and I see, women guiding women. I'm in my own programs as a participant and masterminds, and just like seeing how much we're transmitting to each other, the power that we have as women, and the intelligence and the wisdom and the softness and the pain and everything, and just being able to relate to each other through this journey of life. And I see us so deeply coming into our power right now, and it's going to take time. There's a lot of layers to unfold and to unpeel, and maybe there is no destination, we know that, but bringing the feminine back into balance on this planet together. Yeah. I think, I might summarize, finish soon, but I remember at the end of, I think it was the last Yoni initiation, this beautiful, beautiful sister who flew in for it from outside of Thailand. And she said at the end, I don't feel alone anymore, and I'm not scared. And I think this is almost the precise magic of being in sisterhood, doing this stuff together. Because we're not alone. We are absolutely not alone. We are all going through, and maybe different forms or different experiences, but so much of the same things. And when we know we're not alone and we have support around us, there's so much it feels so much less scary. And our relationship to fear and our relationship to being brave is the thing that really can help us achieve whatever it is that we want in our life, to go against the standards or the norm, or to speak our truth, or whatever it is. And working with this relationship with fear, it's so much less scary together. So yeah, I think that's enough for today. I love sharing here. I really love being in this space. And we are kicking off our first opening ceremony call for the Sisterhood on the 5th of June. So if you're listening to this before then, really, really encourage you to join us and open this portal together with us, which is going to be long-standing portal. We are planning to keep this beautiful community alive for a long time, and would love, love, love for you to be a part of the opening of that. And yeah, we have a beautiful group of women forming, and we have an app where we're going to have as of the 1st of June, daily drops of inspiration, space to share, space to celebrate, as well as the live talk classes. And yeah, I'm just so excited to see what we're going to all create together in community as a sisterhood, and really would love it if you feel to join. And of course, if you enjoy this podcast, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of the things to help us get the word out there so that more and more women can come and join the tribe. Thank you for listening. Sending so much love. Thank you for listening, sisters. We hope you're feeling expanded after being here with us. If you are, the best way you can support us on this journey of creating free content for this movement is to rate, review, or share this podcast. It would mean so much to us as we try and grow this sisterhood into a global revolution.
And if you want to hear all of our latest news, get free practices and tips, and learn about our offerings, sign up for our juicy emails at thejadetemple.com. Thank you so much, sisters. We love you and hope to see you soon.